Alright, we got a lot of exciting new information and some new specs on the Fisker Ocean. We also have some production pictures of the colors of the Fisker Ocean. We've got some word about some battery sizes and some possible efficiency numbers. We got charging speeds. We got some new wheels that will be available in 2023. Also, Fisker invited some journalists to come do some test drives, and that actually did include our friend Sean from Fiskerati, and we're going to have some footage of that later on. And then there's a few items that won't be available for the Fisker Ocean until late 2023 and 2024. And we're going to start talking about that stuff right now. So Fisker is collaborating with Magna to produce the Fisker Ocean, and they're going to do that on the EV platform, the FM29. Now we found out that the suspension on that platform is going to be McPherson struts up front and a multi-link suspension in the rear. Now we're going to talk about batteries. Now the batteries on the Fisker Ocean Sport is going to be an LFP battery. Now MotorTrend reported that other Ocean models will get CATL's better performing and more expensive nickel manganese cobalt or NMC battery, which boasts more than 100 kilowatt hours. So right there we know that the battery is over 100 kilowatt hours and that it can charge from 10 to 80% in less than 35 minutes. So now we know it's over 100 kilowatt hour battery. We've just recently seen that the Audi Q8 e-tron is coming with a 114 kilowatt hour battery. Now they're projecting a 300-mile EPA range. That is going to give them about 2.63 miles per kilowatt hour. Doesn't sound all that great. Now, if you take the Ultra, the Extreme, are going to have that same battery pack, they're going to be looking at about 340 to 350 miles, depending on which one you have. And if you have that exact same 114 kilowatt hour battery, you're going to be looking at about 3.07 miles per kilowatt hour. Now that's a little bit better. The other one that we can compare this to is the Polestar 3. Now the Polestar 3 says they're going to have a 111 kilowatt hour battery, and they are projecting a 300 mile EPA range. That is going to give them a 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which is still not very good. But you look at that Ultra and Extreme that have that bigger battery, if it's that same 111 kilowatt hour battery as the Polestar 3, and the Ocean gets 340 to 350 mile range, you're looking at 3.15 miles per kilowatt hour. Now that is really, really good, and that is going to outperform most. And the reason it's going to outperform most is because of Magna's drive system that's disengaging the rear motor. That is going to produce a lot more range. They didn't specify what size battery the Sport is going to get, but I am going to guess or assume that it's probably the 82 kilowatt hour, which is a 77 kilowatt hour usable battery that is in most of the SUVs this size. It's in our ID4. I believe they use the same size battery in the Ioniq 5. It's a pretty standard size battery and generally gets everyone right around 250 miles of range. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I do a lot of comparison videos with the Fisker Ocean, the Mustang Mach-E, the Tesla Model Y. We've also done the Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6. Now, MotorTrend is going to throw out some numbers here in comparison of the Fisker Ocean and to some of these other ones too. So, here's what they had to say. At the lineup's top end, the Ocean Extreme costs nearly the same as the Model Y Performance, which is around $69,990 before factoring in any incentives. But it offers similar actual performance and is expected to deliver more than 15% better range. But the Extreme is nearly $7,000 cheaper than the similarly quick Mach-E GT Performance Edition and should have about 34% better range. The real bang for the buck Fisker looks to be the mid-spec $50,000 Ocean Ultra. If Fisker's range numbers stand up to the EPA testing, it should go 31% further than the $57,000 Hyundai Ioniq 5 limited all-wheel drive, 10% further than a $64,000 Tesla Model Y long range, and 30% further than a $71,000 Mustang Mach-E GT Performance. And with 540 horsepower on tap, it should accelerate quicker to 60 miles per hour than either the Hyundai or the Tesla, and be right on par with the Mustang Mach-E GT Performance. Now that's some strong words, and that's just not stuff coming from me or other YouTubers. That's coming from MotorTrend. Alright, so now let's take a look at some of the production prototype cars that have been produced and some of the colors that we've seen. So we have Great White, we've got Night Drive, Horizon Gray, Mariana, Big Sur Blue, which Mariana is Big Sur Blue just with gloss instead of matte finish. You got Blue Planet, and the Silver Lining. The one cool thing about this Horizon Gray is that depending on the lighting, it looks a little more blue or it looks a little bit purple. Now, we've also got new wheels for 2023. We not only have the F3s, the F5s, and now we have the 22-inch F6 Vortex. I don't know how you feel about them. I'm not real crazy about them. I like the F5s. That's probably what we're going to go with. Just trying to decide whether we want the silver or the black. It's probably going to be the black. We also found out that the rear seats are going to be a 40-20-40 split. And I believe that you can drop that center section so you can have extended cargo area instead of having to put all of one side down or the other. So now we can just open up that whole tunnel area going straight through there. Now, the other thing that we've also found out, and Henrik talked about this, he called it the taco tray, or you can call it an airplane tray. Now, we had heard about the one that was in the dash that was for the passenger that slid out. You set your laptop on or something, but we didn't know about the one that folds out of the center compartment. When you lift up your armrest there in the center, it folds out and lays out in front of you. It's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty awesome thing. At the beginning of November, Fisker invited some journalists and some media members to come out to Graz, Austria at the Magna facility to do some test driving of the Fisker Ocean. And these are still prototypes. They are not completely finished, but they are, I believe they said, about 85% to 90% finished and ready to go. So we've already heard from MotorTrend that was there. Now, we also had our friend from Fiskerati, Sean Callahan. If you don't know him, you can go to the Fiskerati YouTube channel. Also, you can go to Fiskerati.com. He has a great website and they have forums and everything. All your questions answered there if you can't find them in my videos. The other one was thedrive.com. So this is what thedrive.com said about their drive. They said the torque isn't a full hit right at the beginning. It feels sort of like a turbocharger coming into boost. It's not jarring in the slightest despite sprinting to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. So here's the video of Sean doing his test drive that kind of shows exactly what thedrive.com had to say about it.
Here's the Fisker Ocean that I'll be test driving. Abby Eaton just did the sample app or the example app showing me what to do. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, so we're gonna test drive this. Here we go. Gonna smash the accelerator. 1, 2, 3.
What'd you think?
Pretty nice.
So So obviously it's quite a cold morning here, so tyres and everything are cold as well.
Yeah, we heard
so you can hear it
skid, yeah.
scrabbling for grip with all the torque that it's got.
Yeah, a little nervous actually, to be honest with you.
Now this is being taken from the Fiskerati.com website, and this is what Sean had to say about his drive that you just saw. He said, the Fisker Ocean doesn't throw you back into your seat when you smash the accelerator like our current electric vehicle. Rather, it gently and very quickly accelerates faster than our Tesla Model 3, which, by the way, has the performance boost. It was actually refreshing. We held down the accelerator as long as we could on our second go on the track until the end of the straightaway. Who knows what the speedometer displayed, but we were going Henrik Fisker and Abby Eaton fast. It was pretty exciting. And here is that video.
I'll go over here beside Sean.
So now you know what to expect.
Take it up to 200.
Where do I stop? Where do I let off the? Where do you let off the accelerator?
I don't know. Dude,
Never.
ask him.
Never.
We'll push it. We'll push it further
Okay,
this time.
let's do it.
Yeah. So we'll go back round to the start. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You know, we have, this is 85%. So we have a little transfer, so just between 3 and 1%. More or less the size of the Model Y.
Right, exactly.
You can say what you want, but it is going to be and of course, we never really say that.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Sean was having a great time driving that Fisker Ocean. But there's a couple things that I do want to tell you about now, was that there are a few items that will not be on the Fisker Oceans when they start delivery. And they won't be around until late 2023 to early 2024. And those 4 things are going to be cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane centering, and traffic jam assist. So now the traffic jam assist, no, not a big deal. I think we all have driven without it or whatever, so it's not that big of a deal. Not worried about that. Lane centering, it's fine. Not worried about the lane centering right now. I don't hardly ever use it. My wife uses it occasionally. It's nice to have, but I don't really, I'm not concerned with that. Now the blind spot monitoring, that's a little bit of another issue. I do kind of like having that there. It kind of lights up whenever there's somebody there, but we grew up driving without it, so I'm sure that I can revert back to it and it's fine. My truck doesn't have it and I drive my truck every day. Now cruise control. I'm not sure if it's the cruise control, regular cruise control, or if they mean the adaptive cruise control. When I was on the website and they had the configurator up, when I went through some of the items, it said the adaptive cruise control would be late 2023, and later down in the rest of the stuff, it said that it had cruise control. So it may be the adaptive cruise control that's coming later, which makes sense. Regular cruise control, we've had that for decades. So why, I don't understand why there wouldn't be any cruise control. But I'm not a software person, so I am just assuming that it is just the adaptive cruise control that we are going to be without. We talked about thedrive.com, and one of the quotes that they made earlier, this is what they had to say about the car in general and overall. They said, overall, it was surprisingly capable, extremely neutral, and rode very nicely. I can't imagine any pothole or other impact being a harsh one in the ocean. When it finally hits the road in earnest, I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few road bumps, which could be the missing items that we're not going to have at the beginning. But the car Fisker has on its hands is undeniably practical, unique, and capable. For millions of interested EV buyers, that is going to be more than enough. If you don't have a Fisker Ocean reservation, you can use this code right here. It will also be in the description. Also, the links for the drive.com article, the MotorTrend article, and the Fiskerati.com article will all be down in the description, along with the full-length video of Sean Callahan and Fiskerati's trip to Graz, Austria to test drive the Fisker Ocean. If you're wanting to keep up to date on the Fisker Ocean news, make sure you subscribe. On Wednesdays, we do a live stream with Fiskerati and Tesla Tips by Mountain Ranger. That'll be every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central. All three of us have reservations for on our Fisker Ocean, and we all be getting them at different times. I have an Ultra on order that'll be getting next fall. If you want to know any more information about the Fisker Ocean, make sure you subscribe. Also, check out this playlist right here. There are several videos in there, comparison videos, everything you would want to know about the Fisker Ocean. If you don't want any more information about the Fisker Ocean, go check this video out right down here. But thanks for being here, and I will see you later.